I was the middle child, the quiet one. When my parents died, my older brother, the charismatic lawyer, and my younger sister, the perpetually struggling artist, presented a will leaving them everything. I got a dusty crate of old novels. Inside a battered copy of Moby Dick, I found a single sentence underlined in red. The money is in the whale. It was my father's handwriting. The funeral was on a Tuesday. The will reading was on Thursday. My brother David, in a suit that cost more than my car, did the talking. My sister Chloe dabbed her eyes with a tissue. The estate was straightforward. The house, the investments, the life insurance, all split between the two of them. To our son, Michael, the lawyer read, his voice devoid of inflection, we leave our personal library, hoping he finds the same solace in stories that we did. A ripple of pity went through the room. David clapped me on the shoulder. You always did have your head in the clouds, Mike. Maybe you can sell the books. Chloe gave me a sad smile. I was too numb to react. I'd been the one who visited, who handled their doctor's appointments, who fixed the leaky faucet. They'd been the ones who called on holidays. The library was 12 moldering cardboard boxes delivered to my rented garage. Feeling like the world's biggest chump, I started sorting through water-damaged paperbacks. The crate marked classics held my dad's old college books. I pulled out Moby Dick. It fell open to chapter 42, The Whiteness of the Whale. A single line was violently underlined in red ink. To and fro in the deeps. Far down, in the bottomless blue, rushed mighty Leviathan. In the margin, in my father's cramped script, it said, The money is in the whale. My heart hammered. It wasn't a metaphor. My father was a literal man, an engineer. I tore the book apart. Nothing. I flipped through every page. Then I saw it. The underlined sentence. Leviathan. My parents' vacation home was a tiny, dilapidated cabin on a lake called Leviathan Lake, a place they'd bought for a song and never improved, a place they always refused to sell, a place my siblings derided as a money pit. I drove 4 hours that night. The cabin was a shack, but the tool shed, the lock was new. I broke it. Inside, under a tarp and a pile of rotten life jackets, was a heavy, industrial-grade safe. I didn't know the combination. I called a locksmith at dawn, claiming I was the owner and had lost the key. When it swung open, I saw stacks of cash, gold coins, and a binder. The binder was the truth. My father hadn't trusted banks after the 2008 crash. He'd been quietly converting his income to tangible assets for years. The will my siblings had was a decoy, prepared by David himself. My father had secretly told me he'd never use a lawyer he didn't personally draw up a spec sheet for. The real will, notarized and hidden in the safe, left the entire liquid estate to me, citing my consistent quiet loyalty. The house and its contents were the show for David and Chloe. The safe held nearly $2 million. I didn't say a word. I rented a secure storage unit in another city and moved the safe. I hired a forensic accountant and a pitbull lawyer who specialized in probate fraud. We didn't contest the fake will. We let David and Chloe have the house and the drained investment accounts. They sold everything immediately, squabbling over the proceeds, each convinced they'd swindled the other. A year later, when they'd blown through the money and were starting to ask pointed questions about my newfound stability, my lawyer sent them a package. It contained copies of the real will, photos of the safe's contents, and a cease and desist letter stating any further contact would result in a lawsuit for conspiracy to commit fraud and emotional distress. The attached note from me was simple. You got the show. I got the whale. The silence was priceless. David's law career tanked when the story leaked. Chloe's new patron turned out to be as fake as her grief. I paid off my debts, bought a small, sturdy house overlooking a different, calmer lake, and invested the rest.